Hi everyone, today this is a special interview in English and we are pleased to welcome Schalk Bezuidenhout.
Yes.
Is it the right pronunciation?
That was perfect for, where are you from?
Switzerland.
That is my name in Switzerland, yes.
Okay, thank you.
There's something different in South Africa, but in Switzerland my name is Schalk Bezuidenhout.
Okay, and how do you say it in South Africa then?
Schalk Bezuidenhout.
Wow, that's quite different, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I have different names for different countries.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. So, what does performing abroad represent for you?
I guess that's the first sort of, especially in where I am in my career now, like a big step in a comedian's life is when you make the transition from, okay, I know I'm funny in my own country, but can I be funny in a different country? I think that's a big step. I think it's a lot easier. It is obviously a lot easier to be funny in your own country because you know the people, you know what they like, you know what they find funny. You can make inside jokes, if you know what I mean, because you can talk about the politics and what's happening. Now going to a different country, it's a big challenge, but it's very rewarding when you pull it off. Especially when you walk out, like when I walk out here tonight, no one in the audience will know who I am. So, you know, people are kind of like, okay, show us what you got.
So that's challenging for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge, but it's very rewarding, like I said, when you pull it off, you know, and it makes you feel, okay, cool, I've chosen the right career path here. And
do you tour in many countries?
I've actually haven't toured that much internationally. I've done my one-man show in London. This is only the second international country that well, I guess all countries are international. There's no national country, but this is the first other country besides for the UK that I've performed in. Yeah.
Your show is Jersey Boys, am I right?
Yeah, that's my one-man show. When I went and did it internationally, I changed the show to South African White Boy, and because the show is a little bit different, a bit more international than Jersey Boy. Yeah.
And recently you performed on the Trending Comic Gala at the Johannesburg International Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Which is also programmed by the festival, the owner of this festival in Montreux.
Yes.
So tonight again the Trending Comic Gala.
Yeah.
Why do you believe the Trending Comic Gala interests you, and can it reach a global audience?
Yeah, so I think the kind of thing that they had in mind with the Trending Comics is it's you get in comedy, you get like sort of your beginners, your open spots, and then your very famous people. And I think the Trending Comics are the comedians who are sort of on the cusp of reaching that like sort of big level. So it's not quite beginners, but it's not quite people who are very famous.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like where I think that's the idea behind the Trending Comics. I think it's exciting for audiences to see because it's basically showcasing like this is the next generation, the ones that are gonna take over eventually from the one now.
And through internet, social media, and maybe videos of the show, of the galas, do you think it can reach a global audience? You know, in many countries, can people maybe find out who you are? And,
yes, definitely. And like, because I mean, all the comedians, we had a warm-up gig last night, so and the audience were actually from all over the world. So all of us are doing sets that are internationally appealing. You know, so anyone who can understand English will get what we're talking about.
So to talk about your country, South Africa, how is the entertainment business structured, you know? How is it working? Is it a small market?
Yeah, comedy is probably the fastest growing industry in South Africa at the moment. It's just comedians are growing exponentially, the amount of comedians. I mean, I think when I started out, you know, in those first few years, it got to a point where there wasn't a comedian in South Africa that I didn't know. We all know each other. Now there's comedians in like people saying, geez, this guy's been killing it all over the show. And I'm like, geez, I've never even heard of him.
Okay.
So it's like really getting big. More comedians doing one-man shows. And with the effect that you also actually have to wait longer to get on lineups because now there's so many people. But it's booming, man. And like I think people, comedians in South Africa and audiences in South Africa are like very excited about South African comedy and where it can go.
And one of the reasons the festival invited you is through Grégoire Führer, the president, and he said about you that you were a rising artist. So what do you think about that?
A what artist?
A rising artist.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes, I hope that's I hope that's true. I hope things will continue to rise. Yeah.
Because you also performed for first part for the Trevor Noah shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is a big star in the US and in South Africa as well.
Yes, I opened for Trevor Noah, and I mean it was amazing just to be exposed to like so many people. Every show didn't know who I was before, so that platform was amazing just in terms of exposure, and then also performing with someone on that level, working with someone on that level. It's like I learned so much. Especially Trevor has like the most incredible writing ethic I've ever seen. He's always writing new material. If he's in a new place, he will do material about that place, that city, about things that are happening constantly in the world, in the news. He's never resting, you know what I mean, in terms of his comedy, which is like very inspiring.
So do you look up at him?
Yes, and I try and do the same. Like now, when I'm here in Montreux, I try and like observe things and try and speak about things that are here in Switzerland as well. I think that makes the audience feel like, okay, he didn't just come all the way to our country and just did his material that he always does. He actually observed things and like made an effort to do jokes that are just for us. Because my jokes about Montreux, I will do only in Montreux. I'm not going to go do my Montreux jokes in London.
Yeah, that's stand-up actually. That's how stand-up works mostly.
Yes. Yeah.
And so one last question. So far, what is the best memory of your career actually?
Well, Trevor Noah did a show in South Africa now very recently. It was in August, where he did a venue called the Dome, and it seats 13,000 people. And I opened for him there. Definitely the biggest crowd I've ever performed to, and it was it's kind of a record in Africa. There's never been a comedy show that big in Africa. Which is like I feel for South African comedy, that's like a big defining moment, which will always be in like South African comedy history, go down as like a big landmark. So it was amazing to be part of that. And I think also doing South African White Boy in London at the Leicester Square Theatre, just like that first experience of like doing a one-man show overseas was incredible. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Schalk.
Thank you very much.
And when can we see you performing your show in Europe, maybe?
Yes. I definitely want to go back to London next year with South African White Boy and start looking into bringing it to all over Europe.
Okay, thank you again.
Cool. Bring your English understanding friends and come watch it when I do Montreux.
Yeah, tonight I will be there as well. So
oh, great. Nice.
And it was nice.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah.